In this video, I will be demonstrating using the built-in functions in Microsoft Excel to compute the future value or the accumulated amount of a deposit you make of $1,000 into an account with an interest rate of 8% per year, compounded annually, semi-annually, quarterly, and monthly for a period of 3 years. Highlight the cell that will contain the answer that you want to compute. In this case, the accumulated value or the future value of that investment. Then above, just to the left of the formula bar, you will find a button labeled FX. That denotes inserting a function. If you click that button, Excel will open a window and ask you which function you want to insert. The category is listed as financial. This time I will use it. The functions are listed alphabetically, so I'll slide down until I can find a future value function denoted by an FX. When I click OK, it opens a window. That window is asking for the inputs in order to compute it. The rate box is filled with the interest rate per period. Now the nominal rate is 0.8, and there will be one period, computational period, in a year, so I can divide that number by 1, which produces a value of 0.08. The number of periods in the investment, and that is going to be the number of years that we have times the number of periods per year. In this case, 1. We're not going to use input into the payment section at this point. We will in future videos. The present value is another name for the principal or the amount that you invested. So I will select the box that contains that present value or principal amount. Please note that I have included a negative in front of the value. This is consistent with the protocol for financial applications. Since this is amount is leaving our account, we denote it as negative. Okay? The last box to fill is called type. Now, type is used if you're making a deposit sometime during the period or the term of the loan. Since we will not, payment is made at the beginning of the conversion period or at the end of the conversion period. We won't be using that in this example, so we can either omit it or enter a 0. When we click OK, Excel will compute the value and put it into the box. You will see that that agrees with the accumulated amount we computed in class using the accumulated value function. For semi-annually, again, we highlight the box and click the function button. Now, last time I said financial, but Excel will keep track of the most recently used functions and list them. That can save you a hunt. So the most recently used one was future value, so we click it. Again, the rate is going to be 8%, but it's rate per period, so we will divide that by the number of periods a year, which is 2. The number of periods in the term of the loan is going to be the 3 years that we kept it times the number of periods per year, which is 2. Again, no payment because we're not going to deposit anything, and we're going to use the present value or principal of $1,000. We can either leave type, put a 0 in for type, or leave it omitted. The default is omitted. And so you can see it computes the future value, which agrees with what we computed in class for semi-annually. I will do 2 more, one for quarterly. Again, now when I click the box next to the quarterly and go to the embedded function, you will see that the first one listed is future value. It is the most recently one I used. I will click OK. Again, the rate is 0.8 annually, but we are compounding 4 times a year, so the interest rate is going to be 0.2 for each of those periods. The number of periods is 3 years times the number of periods per year. Not a tough one, we could do it in your head. Again, still no payment is made, and the present value is going to be the principal. When we click OK, it enters it into the... Finally, to do monthly. But this time, instead of I can actually insert a function. And if I click on the insert, if I click on the formula bar up on top, you can see one of them is insert function, and I can say insert a financial function, and it will give me the same list as you got before. If I click future value, we're back where we were before. Again, the rate per period is going to be 8 divided by the number of periods. Since we're doing it monthly, it's 12. The number of periods is going to be 3 years times the number of periods per year, 12. Okay, still no payment. Present value is negative 1,000. We can leave type alone, and you can see that it matches the amount we came up with using the cumulative value function.